What's up, y'all? My name is Caden. This is my channel, Begging to Break. And today I bring to you my Vanquish Soul Canine deck profile. Super lit. I'm super excited, dude. Without further ado, let's just get straight into it. Thank you guys for watching all my videos. And yeah, now I'm just gonna give you guys the goo now. First off is just a Caesar. This card is extremely broken, and I really feel like you only need to search off of it for the one time. It forces a lot of interaction with your opponent since it's a non-target pop, so it's just great removal. Like your opponent just never knows what you're gonna hit, obviously, and yeah, it's just searchable, so that's why I just play that one. Next is 2 Borger. Simply because the card is searchable. The card is really extremely powerful. I feel like it's truly what makes this deck really consistent, in my opinion, like dodging hand traps, as well as just getting more attributes in hand. It's just really good, in my opinion. It's really strong. Next, I'm playing Triple Raisin. Simply, it's just like the best card, in my opinion. As well as a Rhoda for 4th Raisin, because fire, in my opinion, is like the most important attribute in this whole deck. Although we just don't play a lot, but being able to play Raisin is really strong. Next is Triple Mad Love. This card now searches the field spell, so it's extremely important that we play this card. Yeah, this card's full combo in itself if you open everything. Next is 2 Jawlong. The reason why I'm playing 2 Jawlong is simply because it's a brick. It really doesn't do anything by itself, and I feel like if you're playing 3, then you're just relying on it too much, in my opinion. 2 Jawlong is fine. It shows up enough, and it's easily searchable. With the new canine stuff, sure, like seeing more level 5s is fine, but the Holy Suit does enough, in my opinion, you know? Next is 3 Holy Suit. You just have to play her. She's just the most insane card. She has chemistry with both decks. And yeah, I will say one thing before I keep going. The Vanquish Soul can easily bridge into the canine stuff, but the canine stuff can't bridge into the Vanquish Soul stuff, which is kind of rough, in my opinion. But the deck is strong regardless, because you don't really need the canine stuff, because Vanquish Soul is already really like that, in my opinion. And then onto the spells, I'm playing 1 Start. And I'm also playing 3 Stake, because this card is just simply the best card. And then I'm just playing the 1 Snow Devil. This card is insanely broken. I was considering cutting it when I was first building the deck, but you just play so many generic cards, and they never lock you. This card never locks you. Being able to show off your canine cards for the attributes is also insanely powerful. Next is 1 Lupus for the canine stuff. And then 1 Izuna. This card's somewhat of a garnet, but you can still summon it from your hand. You just rather send it off of Izuna, that way you know that you're getting into a quick level 5 play, or rank 5 play. But this card also can summon out the Sky Crisis Typhon, because it just says using monsters you control. So if your opponent summons from the extra deck twice, you can just slap on a Sky Crisis on your opponent's turn, which is actually kind of insane. Stops the Linley boss monster from activating her effect on turn 0, but they still can clap over it. But yeah, this is what I'm playing for the Izuna ratio. Next, for the 66, I'm playing 3 Jockle, and then just 1 Lantern. This card, in my opinion, Jockle is actually the most broken one, because it just summons 2, which is absolutely insane, in my opinion. And it searches for another monster instead of itself. Then this card, Lantern, summons from the graveyard. This card's easily searchable, and it also searches for the spell cards. So it's just kind of I'd rather open up anything else, because this requires a target engrave as well. It doesn't really search the most strongest cards in the deck. but it definitely helps with consistency, 100%. Next for the canine spells, I'm just playing 2. You don't really need to go crazy. Just one case of canine and then one X-Force released. You'd rather search this card, in my opinion. Not opening it isn't like the end of the world, but it's just nicer to search it. It is kind of like interesting how you search for a searcher, but trust me, this is like the better like search. And then the X-Force release, if you guys don't know what this does, this is a quick effect or a quick play rank up and then destroy one card on the field non-target. Then if I were to attack with a canine monster, it can reset itself during the battle phase. Next, for the non-engine is 1 shifter, double draw, triple ash, triple Fualos, and then I'm just playing cross out Pot of Prosperity. The reason why I'm playing cross out is simply for the Fualos. I can play through ash, I can play through shifter. It's the cross out for the Fualos and draw and lock. There's just some hands where this deck like extremely loses to draw, and so I'd just rather play the cross out. And then I always want to open up shifter, and so that's why I'm not playing call by. Like if I draw the call by, then it's just kind of dead. Which I did like a lot of play testing. I'd rather open up shifter than call by, in my opinion. And then as well, I don't want to negate my own hand traps. So yeah, because these are pretty strong. And this deck is always playing through nib. So the other thing is like, you're either playing into nib with the negate on board ready, with the Canine Ripper on board, or you're playing 4 summons. Like you're playing 4 summons and that's it. And then that's why we don't like play like cross out nib, or why we don't play nib in general. And then draw. And the reason why I play shifter and draw is because they absolutely just shut down decks, in my opinion. So yeah, that's why. Like it's really hard for people to play with shifter and draw, except for what's it called, Malice, Onto the extra deck, I'm playing double rock. I would love to be playing 3, but this extra deck is just so extremely tight, in my opinion. I could probably make like 1 or 2 cuts. You guys can let me know in the comments, but I would definitely love to play 3 if 3 is away. Just 2 rock. 1 SP for consistency on breaking boards. SP is just an amazing generic card. Onto the canine, I'm playing 2 Ripper. The reason why I'm playing 2 Ripper is just because it's extremely, extremely accessible. I know you're like generally making, like the Ripper, but sometimes the Ripper comes up on turn 0 plays, and in my opinion, it does come up against Blue Eyes, and in TCG, a lot of people are still playing Blue Eyes. This card is very good against Blue Eyes, although you could argue you could just summon Nash Knight on Blue Eyes and then suck up the Blue Eyes, and then boom, they don't have a level 8 to use. Next is Werewolf. I would love to play Hound, but I'm not gonna lie, regardless, they're both pretty underwhelming. But this hand rip is pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie. But then again, like, it's like that's it, you know what I mean? Next, for my rank 5 shenanigans, I'm just playing Valon, which is a quick effect Book of Moon. Arc Rebellion, XYZ Dragon takes 3 level 5s. And what this card does is it can be destroyed by card effects. If it's XZ summon, it can be destroyed by card effects. Then during the main phase, it can gain attack equal to all monsters on the field, which this card allows me to attack over the Lunalight, because in general, my deck has no way out to the Lunalight monster. Next is a Paradise Smasher, of course. It says detach 2 materials, each player rolls 2 6-sided dice, and then the player with the highest number cannot activate monster effects, nor can they declare an attack. And then once per turn, you can detach another material, and you can treat one of the dice results as a level 7. So you're always making this with 3. If you're making this with 2, you're like, you have insane trust. You have like an insane ego, I'm not gonna lie. But always make it with 3. That way you can treat your opponents as a 7, and then it'll change theirs to a higher number, and then boom, GG's for your opponent. they can't activate anything for the next 2 turns. And then, huge package here, 1 Nash Knight. This can detach 2 materials and then attach a face-up monster on the field to this card as material. And then take a number monster and from your extra deck and attach 2 materials. So you're like detaching 2, sucking up 2. And then there will be like another monster right here, right? Then we're playing the 104 Masquerade, as well as the CA Chaos Nash Knight. Not gonna try to butcher that. And then so like on res, like you just summon the Nash Knight, and then you detach this one to summon out your Umbral Horror Masquerade. And what this does is, as long as it has the number 104 Masquerade, it can do a monster negate half your opponent's life, and then make them discard a card. And then specifically on summon, on XZ summon, it can destroy Spell or Trap, which is really strong against Blue Eyes. And then just 2 generics. You can make Sky Crisis on turn 0, which is insane. It shuts off a lot of decks, in my opinion. And then Zeus is just insanely strong, dude. Like, he'll always be good for an XZ's deck. And then I'll just show out the side real quick. I'll just burn through it. Thank you guys for watching. Just 1 Dogeron, 2 Dino Wrestler, triple Lancia, double Phantasme. Won't call. I might switch this. I might play another Dogeron, in my opinion. Triple Tactics, double Thrust, 1 Lightning, 1 Harpies, and then a Tikaboo, because this deck is just like that. I might play like another Lightning Storm instead of Tikaboo, TBH. It's just not fast enough. And like it's just like a 1-up that you have to slowly rely on. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys feedback from this deck. Yeah, peace.